Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're we're shifting gears a little bit. We're not getting into economic reports or deep historical dives.
Yeah.
Instead, we're diving straight into metaphor, mindset, and really the power of forward momentum.
And our source material for this is, I think, really compelling. It's from Northwind Illustrations, from their Artist Journal podcast.
That's right. They're basically detailing the whole conceptual journey behind one of their pieces of art. It's called What Waits After the Climb.
And that's our mission for you, the listener. We want to pull out the core insights here about, sustained effort and what they call an unannounced reward.
Yeah, we're looking at how this physical act, just climbing a hill, becomes this perfect metaphor for pretty much any big project in your life.
It's not about the data. It's about the psychology of just keeping going when you can't quite see the destination yet.
Right. We want to unpack those aha moments, the things that turned a simple observation of some cyclists into this really powerful visual idea.
Exactly. And it all starts with the context. The setting is everything. We have to start there because it completely frames the entire message.
Okay, let's unpack this then.
Yeah.
The whole idea, the genesis of it, is pinned to a very specific moment, a walk in Confederation Park.
In early spring of 2024. And that timing is not just a detail, it's central to the whole thing.
It absolutely is. Early spring is, it's that definition of a blurry in-between time.
Totally. The artist notes that it was still cool outside. It was that classic in-between moment where you can feel the promise of warmth, but
you can't see it.
we can't see it yet. Yeah. The reality is still kind of muted. The ground is thawing, but nothing's really green yet.
And that feeling, that in-between moment, that resonates so deeply, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that period in any project where you've committed, you've left the starting point.
Right.
But the goal is still completely blurry. Things are shifting inside, but you look around and everything still just looks gray.
And if you connect that physical setting to the big idea, it perfectly sets up this need for internal trust. The inspiration for the whole piece is about moving forward. And it arrives during this period of transition. It just reinforces that big changes, they happen subtly, Under the surface, you have to commit to the movement before you see the reward.
Before spring actually arrives.
Exactly. It's all about trusting the effort itself.
Okay, so in this cool shifting environment, the artist sees these cyclists.
Yeah.
And they're moving up a pretty significant hill, one after another.
And this is where it gets interesting. This is where the interpretation really begins, because the source goes beyond just seeing people on bikes. It looks at the quality of the movement.
Right. They point out that the pace felt really steady, intentional. And there's this one description that is just key to everything.
What's that?
This is the movement felt almost joyful.
Almost joyful, yeah. Focused, but not desperate.
Exactly, not desperate. And the artist makes this really critical distinction. They were moving forward, that's one. Two, they were not rushing, which implies, panic or some external deadline. And three, they were not escaping. They weren't just running away from something behind them.
Okay, so that raises a huge question. If you're not rushing towards a prize and you're not fleeing from pain, where does the motivation come from?
I know. We're all conditioned to see a steep climb as just, painful prep work, suffering you have to endure. How could it be almost joyful?
And that's the challenge to our thinking here. The source suggests the joy isn't about the reward at the top. That's too far away.
So what is it?
It's the proof of your own commitment in that moment. The satisfaction is in maintaining that steady, intentional pace against the resistance. You're proving to yourself second by second that you can keep going.
So momentum itself becomes the reward.
Momentum is the reward, yes.
That reframes the whole idea of effort. It stops being the struggle you have to get over with, and it becomes this steady demonstration of your own consistency.
It changes the internal monologue from, I have to finish this, to, I am choosing to maintain this.
Right. In any long-term thing, building a business, learning an instrument, that intentional pacing is what stops you from burning out. It's commitment. It's not desperation.
And the artist realized that commitment is what prepares you for the reward. If you just force your way up the hill, you'll be exhausted at the top.
You'll just collapse.
You'll collapse. But if you climb intentionally, you're ready. You're ready to receive that change in perspective.
Which brings us to the quiet reward. The artist gets to the top of the hill, and what they find isn't a finish line or some big fanfare. It's just a sensory change.
Yeah, and the list of what they saw is so important because it's all about expansion. The source says the view just opened up.
The ocean stretched out ahead.
The air itself felt like it widened. And crucially, the bike lane just kept going.
That phrase, the widened air, I find that so powerful. You know that feeling of pressure when you're climbing?
Yeah.
And suddenly it's just gone.
Yeah.
It's replaced by this huge expanse.
It's physical relief, it's clarity, and the whole thing is described as a quiet reward. It wasn't announced, it wasn't promised, it was just waiting there.
Right. And that contrast between the narrow focus you need for the climb and the sudden wide open view at the top, that's the whole point.
It is. I mean, think about it. If there had been a big sign that said, "Great view ahead," you might have rushed. Or you might have felt let down if it wasn't amazing enough.
True.
An unannounced reward means your motivation was internal. You trusted that the effort would lead to something good, even if you didn't know what it was.
And that quiet reward is so different from a finish line. The bike lane continued. The reward isn't about stopping.
No.
It's about getting a better vantage point to continue the journey. You gain perspective, you gain space, and then you keep moving. But now you can see the path ahead a little better. The reward is clarity, not the end.
It totally elevates the whole idea of momentum. The climb wasn't just a thing to get through. It was the transformation that enabled the next stage.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about how this all translates into the artwork itself.
This is where the idea fully crystallized. When you look at the illustration, you can feel that sense of perpetual movement baked into every single element.
He really captured the energy of that specific day. It was windy.
Yeah, and the composition itself is moving. The artist says that the lines, quote, refuse to sit still. There's this dynamic tension built right into the drawing.
It's not a static picture of a person on a bike. It's a drawing of energy. You see the forward lean of the cyclist, which is just the perfect visual for effort against resistance.
And they even capture the environment. The trees are bending slightly, shaped by that wind.
That's such a key detail, isn't it? The wind isn't just decoration. It's the constant resistance you feel in any climb.
Exactly. And by showing the trees as being permanently shaped by it, it says that the challenge never fully goes away. But the cyclist leans into it. They use it to maintain their momentum.
The piece is saying that resistance isn't something to run from. It's something you have to acknowledge and work with.
And that synthesis is what makes it so powerful. It moves the message away from just, riding a bike. The art isn't about cycling or speed. It's purely about momentum.
It's about that internal decision to just keep a steady velocity.
It's a visual argument for trust. You don't need to see the whole map. You just have to trust that the consistent effort, the intentional movement, will change your perspective when you get to the next rise.
The climb itself is the proof of concept.
The climb is the proof.
So what does this all mean for you, the person listening, who is maybe in the middle of a really difficult effort right now?
I think the message is that this moment, this slow, steady grind, it's not just the punishment before the prize.
That's not just the prelude.
No, it is the engine.
Yeah.
It's what's building your intrinsic momentum.
Right.
We so often stall out because the big reward seems too far away.
Or we're not even sure it will be there.
Right, it feels conditional. This deep dive suggests we should redirect our focus inward. Are you moving intentionally? Are you moving steadily? If the answer is yes, then you've already found a reward in the process itself.
The reward being the proof of your own capacity to keep going.
Exactly.
I think the final image from the artist sums it up perfectly. It's about continuing forward without fully knowing what's waiting for you.
Yeah, not rushing to hit some goal, not forcing yourself through exhaustion.
Just moving.
Just moving. And sometimes the most profound rewards don't announce themselves. They don't have a loudspeaker or a trophy. They just wait quietly at the top of the climb.
Offering only a wider view and a little more clarity for the next stretch of the road.
So we'd encourage you to think about those climbs in your own life, the professional projects, the personal growth efforts, and ask yourself, which ones are already giving you these quiet, unannounced rewards just because you chose to keep moving?